think anyone that's watching or listening, it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether you're in sales, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in product, whether you're a founder, a CEO, your story matters. We believe in H to H, which is human to human.
Let's go back right to the beginning.
Sure.
The one restaurant that you started, Smokestack. Tell me about that. Like, how did you end up starting that business, and what was the business like in the early days?
Hard. That's probably why I believe so deeply in storytelling. Once you embrace the tools that we all have now at our fingertips, you can connect with people all over the globe, but more importantly, for local businesses, people right in your area. But you have to have the courage to look stupid and sound stupid. And the more reps that you put in talking to a camera, going on a podcast, posting on LinkedIn, posting on TikTok, the more opportunities there are.
Sean, welcome. Thanks for coming on the Grateful Hospitality podcast. We're not international yet, like your show, but
you're international. You're publishing on the internet. Anyone on earth can hear this show.
Right. Well, corrected.
You got to have a deep belief.
Well, for those of you that don't know who you are, give a quick introduction about Cali, the Work with Toast, and Cali BBQ Media.
Sure. So my name's Sean Walchef. I own Cali BBQ in San Diego, 3 restaurants. We've been in business for 18 years. It's me and my wife, my team. We have a full smokehouse, full 300-seat restaurant that's been up and operating. We opened up a stadium location in Snapdragon Stadium. That's where our MLS team, Major League Soccer in the United States. I know I'm talking to in London, so
football.
It is World Cup time, but yes, football is alive and well in San Diego, just so you know. And we serve barbecue out of our Cali BBQ stand at that location, and then we have a Navy-based location where we're in a food court with a bunch of national brands. We're the only local brand, and we've been doing that for 2 years, but 18 years in the restaurant business, and over the last 9 years building a media company, B2B storytelling, basically telling restaurant stories, the business of restaurants and the business of technology that runs restaurants, hotels, and stadiums. We have 18 podcasts, I think, 18 shows. So whether it's a podcast or a YouTube channel that we either produce internally or on behalf of clients. Our biggest show is called Restaurant Influencers. It's a podcast with Entrepreneur Magazine. Toast is the title sponsor of that show. Pepsi just signed on for a year-long sponsorship to promote the technology that they're helping restaurants with menu optimization. It's called Digital Labs. And then we have our digital hospitality podcast, which I've been doing since 2017. And we've got a Substack called Restaurant Technology Substack. We believe in omni-channel storytelling. And I think anyone that's watching or listening, it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether you're in sales, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in product, whether you're a founder, a CEO, your story matters. We believe in H to H, which is human to human. So most of our content is B2B, business to business. We don't need to have videos with hundreds of thousands of views or millions of views. We care that restaurant owners and business owners watch our videos and get value from them. And if they do, and it makes their business better, then we've done our job.
Wow. It's a lot.
A lot. We got a lot. And
Exactly.
I got my wife, my son, and my daughter, and they're the Walchef Wolf Pack, and we travel now all over the world to tell restaurant technology stories.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to unpack all that today anyway, but let's go back right to the beginning. Like,
Sure.
The one restaurant that you started, the Smokestack. Like, tell me about that. Like, how did you end up starting that business, and what was the business like in the early days?
Hard. Running a restaurant is hard. We opened in 2008. It was me and Corey, one of my best friends from college. We took over an existing breakfast business, added a sports bar and a dinner service. And we were young and naive and just, right out of college, we thought that even though we grew up both in family restaurants, we never thought we'd get into the restaurant business, but the liquor license was a good opportunity to activate in an underserved part of San Diego. So I believe in London, you call it the dodgy part of town. Spring Valley would definitely qualify as the dodgy part of town, but it's our dodgy part. And we love it, and we believed in it, and we built a business that we were super proud of. But the business didn't make any money in the beginning. We struggled, very difficult, 2008, 2009 to pay our vendors, pay our team. We definitely didn't pay ourselves. And it was hard. And I think that's probably why I believe so deeply in storytelling, why I believe so deeply in technology, is that once you embrace the tools that we all have now at our fingertips, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it really doesn't matter what the platform is. You can connect with people all over the globe, but more importantly, for local businesses, people right in your area. But you have to have the courage to look stupid and sound stupid. And I think that's the biggest problem and opportunity with social media. For business owners, no one wants to look stupid or sound stupid. No one wants to post a video of them awkwardly stumbling over their words and then seeing somebody on LinkedIn go, "Who do you think you are?" Like, you have investors, you have board members, you have a husband, a wife, a daughter, a son, and they're looking at you and they're like, "Mason, you look stupid. Like, why'd you post that video?" But that's our own fear. That's our fear getting in the way of the opportunity. And the more reps that you put in talking to a camera, going on a podcast, posting on LinkedIn, posting on TikTok, the more opportunities there are. I don't care how many people see a video that we post, a blog that I make. I don't care. What I care about is the humans when I come to London that stop me and we have a meetup. We had a Rising Tides meetup. So we do another 2 shows. We have a show on Wednesday and Friday called Rising Tides Live. So it's a live show that we started during the pandemic on Clubhouse, which was an audio app, but now it's evolved into a live podcast on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. And we have a community of people like Scott Turner from Auden Hospitality, Richard Liverman, Adam Foreman. These are all digital hospitality professionals, people that work either in the business of restaurants, the business of technology, or are storytellers and business owners. And because we have the courage to do that, we met with 15 people on Tuesday. We had a meetup in London, and I got to meet people that I've never met in real life. I didn't even know they followed me on LinkedIn. And yet they showed up in real life to talk about restaurants, talk about technology, talk about storytelling. And, we've made some connections that I'm sure, we'll see where those connections go, but could lead to business, could lead to new clients, could lead to new opportunities. You just never know until you actually start doing the work. And in the beginning, when you do the work and you post, no one will care. And then you post again and no one cares. When we first started our podcast, nobody listened. 2017, there was no one listening to our show. 50 episode was audio only, no video. But you have to have the courage to keep posting. Did you know that if you can publish 10 podcasts, you're in the top 10%.
Wow.
There's millions of podcasts on Apple Podcasts. Millions. Only 10% have published 10 episodes or more. That's a very low bar. But why? This is your 3rd podcast. Is it harder or easier than you expected?
Well, it's easier. Like you said, it's the initial jump of thinking, I don't want to do this because
you're busy. You're running a tech company.
Yeah.
How many clients do you guys have?
Hundreds.
Yeah. And how many employees do you have?
22.
Livelihoods that depend on you. Investors that are betting on you. So they ask, tell me about the fear that you had of spending time. What day is it? What day are we recording this? Thursday. You've blocked out time to do podcasting. Why?
Well, I actually think it comes back to the initial conversation we had around brand building and storytelling.
When was that?
Oh God, it's probably 18 months ago, 12 months ago.
18 months ago. What happened?
Well, life got in the way.
No, but what happened? Did we have a call?
Yeah, we had a call. Yeah, we were introduced by, I think it was Phil at Toast.
Yeah.
And it was the line, I think, that you said no one's going to come and start telling your story for you.
Yeah. No one's coming. That's, if anybody's watching and anyone's listening, if you're an entrepreneur, there's an American baseball movie called Field of Dreams. And the line is, if you build it, they will come. So Kevin Costner is the main actor and James Earl Jones. And the whole idea of this is that they build a baseball field in a cornfield in the middle of nowhere. And because he built this baseball field, all of these legends of baseball, these ghosts come and they play. But the line in the movie, which is a line that many entrepreneurs and business owners, at least stateside, will say is, if you build it, they will come. If you build a restaurant and you open up the doors, people are going to come. And it's just not true. If you start a tech company, if you start a product, no matter what you do, we think that the product is so good, product led. The product's so good, ChatGPT is so good that everyone's going to download ChatGPT, right? Well, most businesses aren't ChatGPT, right? And because they're not, you have to tell your own story. And the more that you tell your story, the better you get at telling your story. Then other people will start to tell your story.
Yeah. And just going back to that storytelling piece, like starting from one restaurant, like what was the moment that you realized, like, this is what I need to do, and this is my calling, like this is where I want to go in life? Because obviously you've got multiple different business ventures that you're focusing on now. What was there a specific moment from starting a bricks and mortar site to then actually going into media and thinking, this is what I need to do to succeed?
So the specific moment was realizing that no one was coming. That we thought that when we had been open for 5 years, I thought that our 5-year anniversary, because we were in the dodgy part of town, that maybe I could get local media, legacy media, newspapers, magazines, local TV station to come out and cover our restaurant. And I actually bought some books on PR, public relations, on how to write a press release to get news coverage. I wrote probably 13 different press releases asking local media to come and cover, us being open for 5 years, serving great barbecue, providing phenomenal hospitality, giving back to our community. Do you know how many people came and wrote stories about us?
1, 2?
0. No one came. No one gives a shit. Like, maybe we didn't have a good story, but like, no one came. And at that point, I realized we either need to tell our story or we're going to go out of business. And we opened up our business in 2008. Do you know what year the iPhone came out?
No.
2007. So like, we've been building our restaurant business on the backs of Web 2.0, literally on the backs of the iPhone, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google, Yelp, all of these different tools that now a restaurateur, a small business, big business, we all depend on these tools to get our story out. I mean, I was just sharing just yesterday in the Toast offices when we were filming, when Google makes a product announcement, where do you learn about those Google product announcements?
Online.
Where online?
On Google.
You learn on Google. Like, through what? Google notification? They email you? How do you learn about it?
Oh, it's just through socials online, I guess, like various different channels.
Through socials.
Yeah.
Exactly. I learn about Google products from Meta on Instagram, on Google's account on Meta. Isn't that crazy? Like, the world that we live in is a Google Alphabet, one of the biggest technology companies on earth, uses tools like Facebook and Instagram to promote their products. Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, when he's doing Meta glasses with Ray-Ban, they make YouTube videos about it. That tells you a lot about the world of technology, the world of storytelling, that no matter who you are and what you do, all of these platforms matter because they reach different audiences.
And just, I guess, going back before we go on to, I guess I want to get some real nuggets for people that are watching around the power of social media and the power of like a multi-platform approach. But I guess just to try and put it into perspective, what was the difference between before and after you had that realization moment of like, I need to take control of this, I need to start telling the story of the business? What was that ramp period looking like? Was it, I'm guessing it wasn't an overnight success.
Definitely not. I mean, it's still not an overnight success. And we've been able to do some really, I'm here in London with my family, with my team. David flew from Bulgaria. Chance flew from San Diego. Cam is coming. He flew from Buenos Aires. Like, we've got a team operating in 6 different time zones, 14 people on the media team. But we're just getting started. And to your point, when we did do it in the beginning, no one cared. It was just me. Everything that you need, if you're watching, if you're listening, you don't need 14 people on your media team to be able to do this type of content. We're filming in a podcast studio. There are podcast studios all over the United States, definitely, apparently here in London. No matter where you are on earth, people understand the power of new media, what you can do, but you have to have the courage, back to what I said in the beginning, you have to have the courage to know that no one's coming. Like, it's a self-realization that even though you have a marketing team, even though you have a PR team, no matter who you have, your perspective and your ability to cut to the truth is cut down to nothing. You can go live right now on Instagram. You can go live on TikTok. You can go live on YouTube. Is anyone going to show up? Probably not. And that's why most people don't do it. But if you do it for 100 days, every single day, maybe You get one person that goes, I kind of like what Mason said. I kind of dig what he's doing at Grateful. I like their approach to digital hospitality. I like the way that they're taking care of the workers, and they're making tips transparent, and they're giving back to restaurants. I really like that idea. Maybe we should introduce him to this person, and maybe we should, but like 100 days, 100 go lives. It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. And, back to your question, why did we do it? We did it because we didn't have another choice. The choice is to go out of business or not. And like, if I'm going to go out of business, I'm going to go out of business swinging. I mean, I remember in the beginning, I made fun of Corey, my business partner, opening up the restaurant for being on Facebook.
Wow.
I was like, what are you doing on Facebook? We're a business. We're trying to run a restaurant. Are you just trying to pick up
having a personal
Facebook account?
Wow.
I was like, what are you just trying to pick up girls? Like, what is this social media? And then we got to the point where we couldn't pay our bills. And I'm like, well, Facebook lets me post about the restaurant. So I started posting about our restaurant.
Was that the first platform you started posting
on? By far,
Facebook?
Yeah. First platform. And I remember annoying friends and family that followed me on Facebook going, Sean, why are you posting so much about the restaurant? Like, well, if you're my friend and my family, why don't you come to the restaurant so I don't go out of business?
Yeah. And was it Facebook for a long time, and then you started on like different channels? And was it written content? Was it photo? Was it video? Like what were you doing?
We kind of learned all of it. It was, the evolution of how social media has changed is we just don't discriminate on the platform. Most restaurant owners hate Yelp. I hated Yelp in the beginning too, until I realized, wait, there's actual humans that are on Yelp that have visited my restaurant, and they have an opinion, whether it's a great opinion or a bad opinion about their visit. Maybe I should start to interact with them the same way I would interact with a person in real life. Yeah. If they came into my restaurant and they gave me that feedback on the floor of my restaurant, what if I treated them the same way on Yelp and I responded to them immediately instead of waiting 24 hours or a week or a month or never responding at all? We started responding on Yelp, on Google, on Facebook, eventually Instagram, and started realizing that the more channels that we're on and the better that we get at telling our story with quantity, speed, and consistency, we'll start to get better.
And I guess that's the first half of the battle. And arguably, for a restaurateur or someone starting in hospitality, may not be something that comes natural to somebody. They want to focus on
There's nothing natural about talking on camera. There's fucking nothing natural about podcasting. There's nothing natural about taking up your iPhone and being in the town square and going live or making a video and then public. There's nothing natural about it.
But it's part of just life now.
The biggest part is to not think of it as creating content. We're not actors. If you don't like me on a podcast, if you don't like me how I appear in my YouTube video, you just won't like me in real life, and that's fine. But if you see how I act on a podcast, if you see how I act at a trade show, if you see how I act in the toast offices, and you like it, you're probably going to like me in real life because that's how I am. Like, you're exactly how I thought. Well, yeah, because I'm not acting. The cameras are just on.
Yeah.
We don't care how many. It's actually better the more cameras that are on.
And so I guess going back to what I was saying is the first half of the battle is getting the media out and getting people through the door. Yeah. And as a restaurateur, you see it quite a lot. You've probably had experience of it going to other hospitality venues. You have it anywhere you go. You have the element of hype of people thinking this is the best place ever, and then actually executing on the experience when someone comes into a venue. Like, how do you battle that and combat that, really, where you're creating such a high expectation for people coming through the door, and you're getting so much media coverage around the business, making sure that when they come through the door, they're still having a fantastic experience and the actual reality is met?
I think that comes down to operations. I mean, you have to foundationally share your truth. So if you're posting bullshit, that is bullshit. There's the Instagram versus reality.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. You see venues with queues outside the door. Yep. And, I had it where I'd seen it so clearly. There was two venues in exactly the same place. And you go on social media, one's got 100,000 followers, and one's got not really even an Instagram page. On the face of it, they look exactly the same, but one's queuing out the door. You go in and the experience isn't that good.
Yeah.
So
I think the most important thing is that you're not building it for social media. You're just sharing your truth. And your truth is your truth. And the truth of the matter is you'll never make everybody happy.
Yeah.
We sell barbecue in California, which is an oxymoron to the rest of the United States. To Texas, to St. Louis, to Memphis, to the Carolinas, like for anyone to talk about craft barbecue in California, like it's an insult. It's like talking about religion to them. But we do it anyways because every single day our goal is to make better brisket.
Yeah.
And if every single day we work on the craft of making better brisket, better ribs, better pork, better wedding beans, better mac and cheese, then eventually we're going to have a great business. But we have to share that journey along the way. And the problem is most people don't want to share the bad brisket.
Do you share that?
We've been sharing it. We've been sharing it for 18 years of like, that is the journey. That's the hardest part. You know, one of the biggest things, we work with a lot of tech companies and I talk to tech founders a lot of times. I give a lot of advice and they tell me they're in stealth mode. Like, oh, we're in stealth mode. Like, why the fuck are you in stealth mode? What does that even mean? You're waiting to tell your story? What are you waiting for? We have everything that we need right now to tell our story. You're scared that someone's going to steal your secrets? Please. You know how hard it is to build anything of value? If you're confident in what you're building, if you are who you are, you will build something phenomenal. I mean, I had Aman Narang, the co-founder and CEO of Toast, on our show, Restaurant Influencers, talking to him about the early days of building Toast. And in the early days, him and Steve Fredette and John Moody were sitting in their garage downstairs and their wives were questioning, you know, how are these brilliant minds from MIT selling cash registers to restaurateurs? Like, is this really going to work? I wish they had video of those conversations. And it's not that they were in stealth mode. It's just, you don't think when you're building something of what it can be. You think about what it can be, but imagine what it would look like if Jeff Bezos, we had video of him building Amazon. Imagine if we had Elon Musk building, you know, PayPal in the early days. You had the thoughts, Steve Jobs. I mean, imagine all of those people as an entrepreneur, what that would look like, what we could learn from them from their early days. And not only the good stuff, but more importantly, the bad struggles.
I think that's what sorry to interrupt you. I think that's what a lot of people miss. You automatically assume because you start seeing someone online, it's like an overnight success and you don't see all the grind that's gone in for the 10 years previous.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of part of the problem where people are like, I don't want to start posting because of they're scared to do it, but they also think I should be up here, same as the people that have been doing it for 10 years or whatever.
Everyone wants to be the hare in the race and not the tortoise. We all want to be a unicorn. Like, we want to have the success immediately. We want to post and we want to go viral and we want to see the business. We want to see the ROI of social media. If you're a business owner, you need to see the return on investment immediately. The return on investment is, you got to measure it in years and decades, not in days and weeks. Years and decades. If you make a commitment to, I will build on YouTube. YouTube is the #1 TV channel in the world. How many businesses have YouTube channels?
Not sure.
Very small amount. 10%. I would get. Most businesses at least understand they need to be on Instagram, but still, a lot of B2B businesses, definitely B2C businesses, yes, they're on Instagram.
Yeah.
B2B businesses, they still don't think. Do you have an Instagram account?
Yeah.
For Grateful?
Yeah.
How often do you guys post?
Not enough. Well,
Not enough.
This is the point. We think we post more on LinkedIn and we get more engagement on LinkedIn because it's a B2B platform, but everyone's a consumer at the end of the day in one way or another.
You have restaurant owner friends?
Some.
You talk to restaurant owners all the time?
Yeah, I talk to our customers all the time. Yeah.
Do they have Instagram accounts?
They do, yeah.
Do they post on Instagram?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. We're on the same page.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I don't talk about it more. But like, it's nuts to think that, like, when we think of restaurants and we think of storytelling, at least restaurants are posting from a B2C standpoint, the restaurant brand itself. Now, very infrequently, that's why we do the shows that we do, is we want to know the restaurant storytellers, where the founder, the owner, the chef, they have their own Instagram account. But like, they're all on Instagram. Whether it's a private account or a public account, or they're posting or not posting, is irrelevant. They all open up Instagram and they follow what's happening. That's a big signal. It's a big signal. Like, that's a good playground to be in, a storytelling playground for not just a tech company, but for any B2B business to be on. But why don't businesses go on it? Because they don't know what to post, right?
Mm.
It's usually buy my shit, and no one wants to buy your shit.
Yeah.
You don't go to Instagram to buy shit. You go there to be educated or entertained. And if you're educated or entertained and you add value, then but adding value takes time.
I think it's the balance as well between, you talked about the ROI of measuring it in years and decades. You need to get the right balance between what can I do now that's going to help me in the short term,
Yes.
but what's else also going to help in terms of long-term brand building.
Yes.
And I think when we're looking at long-term or long-form content or just brand building in general online, where you want people to resonate with you as a founder or you as someone that's running the company, that is something that takes years and decades to build.
Years and decades.
And I think that's what people probably overlook. They, like you said, everyone wants to be the hare in the race. They just
Everybody.
think, what can I do that's going to generate more
We want to be
revenue for next
Usain
month or
Bolt
the month after?
right out of the gate. Success. Gold medal. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Like that, it's overused line, but it is a marathon. That's 26.3 miles. Like, that is a long distance. And if you plan on doing this forever, if like this is the thing that you are building, if this is the mission that you're on, in 10 years, if you made a commitment to YouTube in 10 years, like, is YouTube going anywhere?
No.
Right? I think YouTube's kind of solidified itself as the OG social media platform.
Yeah.
People have cut the cord globally, starting to realize, like, we have YouTube on our phones, we have YouTube in the hotel rooms. Like, YouTube's a pretty important platform, but YouTube is more difficult to tell stories on than Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook. It requires thumbnails. It requires lots of other moving parts. But businesses have websites. Most businesses don't update their websites. That's a different conversation. SEO versus AEO or GEO or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But those are all storytelling platforms.
And on the point of storytelling, actually, I guess just bringing it back to inception, if you're talking to somebody that's wanting to start a business, hospitality business today, or somebody that's got single site, amazing food, really, really passionate about the craft, and they think, right, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Like, where would you tell them to start?
I'll give a free tip. So this is a free tip. Anybody that's watching, this is the most important tool that you have, and it's an app. This one?
Yeah. It's
the most important tool. It's free. It's a big secret, but I'll let you know what it is. It's called the Camera app. You have it? Have you downloaded it on your phone? It comes installed and everything. The Camera app. 4K video. It allows you to tell your story. Everyone has everything that they need in their pocket at all times. Internet, Camera app. That's it. Everything's free. YouTube's free. TikTok's free. LinkedIn's free. But the cost is the commitment to telling the story every single day and documenting the journey.
And what do you, like, in your opinion, document everything, the highs, the lows, everything in between? Do you start with a specific message?
The most important thing is to learn the craft of documenting. It's understanding when is the right time to pull out your phone and to tell the story.
And when is that for somebody that doesn't know, somebody that's like just in the kitchen 24/7, 365, and this is completely new to them?
It's easy. You tell your story about the thing. Like, every single item that you've put on the menu has a story. Why is it there? Why did you make this selection for this steak to be on your menu? Why did you make this selection for this pudding? You like that? I know all about puddings now. I've had a pudding tour of London. That's dessert for the American audience. Why is this dessert? Why do we serve wicked peach cobbler? There's a story behind wicked peach cobbler. Why do you call them wedding beans? There's a story. We call wedding beans because they're so good that you'd serve them at your wedding. Here's our catering menu. Why did you name the restaurant Cali BBQ? Why did you pick the location in Spring Valley? Why did you hire Eric in the parking lot when he first started 18 years ago? Why is Steven the catering manager? Why do you have a red catering? All of these questions that we assume no one cares about is the human side of business.
And do you think that human psychology is changing towards resonating more with people's stories, or do you think it's just circumstantial because technology is available and people are starting to do it more?
I think because of AI, people are starved for real connection and real truth. That's why I think live video is going to be even bigger than short form.
Streaming.
Streaming.
Yeah.
because streaming's hard and it's real and it's raw and it's immediate.
Have you started streaming?
We stream, yeah.
Right.
We haven't streamed on this trip, so that's a note to my team. We've got to do a live stream. We'll do a live stream in the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And on the topic of AI, like it's a super, super hot topic at the moment, and especially in hospitality. I think a lot of operators, especially in the UK, know that they want it, but it's not a case of exactly knowing where this fits in my business. Like, first of all, what sort of impact do you think AI is having in the hospitality space?
Artificial intelligence is, I mean, it's a technology I'm 44 years old, so I'm a fringe millennial. I was born in 1982, and I am old enough to have had a pager. I'm old enough to have had a cell phone that wasn't an iPhone. I'm old enough to have had an original Facebook. I know what Napster is. Like, I've lived through this, not only lived through, but we built our business through the age of, Web 1.0 to Web 2.0 to where we are now with artificial intelligence. And to see the rate of change. I mean, just last year I was in Bulgaria with Scott Turner, who's a friend of mine from Auden Hospitality. Him and his family, we became friends online because of content, because of LinkedIn, because of the rising tides. His family came to Bulgaria and we made YouTube videos about ChatGPT. Like, we're going to let ChatGPT tell us where to eat at the Black Sea. So that was our YouTube content. Well, if he came to the Black Sea this year, we would probably be asking Claude.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right?
Mm.
Like, we've gone from ChatGPT being the only AI to now Claude to now even we do a lot of work with Google, and the tools that Gemini are building are just phenomenal because it's connected to my Gmail. It's connected to Google Maps. Like, we're in a place where this stuff is so important. I mean, Toast IQ is one of the most powerful AI tools for the 170,000 locations that Toast serves. Toast IQ literally is in my pocket. I have all 3 of our locations on my Toast Now app, and I can ask Toast IQ any question, and it will get me the answer like that. Not only off of my data for our restaurants, but also aggregate data, benchmark data of like best practices. I can have a conversation like I would with ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude with Toast IQ, which is just unbelievably powerful. Because before, you'd have to have a data scientist, or you'd have to spend 6 hours digging through reports to get ready for a manager meeting
on a Sunday night.
On a Sunday night, it's not reasonable. But where we are is like, how is all of that going to connect? How is Toast going to connect to my Restaurant 365 reports, to my 7 Shifts reports, to my Ovation reports, to my Marquee reports? Like, my entire tech stack needs to be accessible, right? If it's not accessible, then it's fragmented. If it's fragmented, it's probably broken. And I need to have clean data before I actually get good data.
And what do you think that like the negatives are that AI is doing to the industry, if any?
I don't think there's any negatives. I mean, I tend to be more of an optimist when it comes to technology. I think the biggest negative is fear, but fear comes with, people deal with fear from social media perspective. I mean, how long have we been able to tell stories on the internet? A while now. YouTube's been around for a long time. Whether people use YouTube or they don't use YouTube, whether they use Instagram, whether they use LinkedIn, like, these are all tools that are available. Some people choose to use them and they benefit greatly from them, and other people ignore them to their own peril. And they look around and they're like, well, why haven't we claimed our Google business profile? Like, why haven't we updated photos? Like, why are operating hours incorrect? Are we looking at the Google data? Are we seeing how many people are coming from Google Maps? Are we seeing how many people are coming because, Gemini or ChatGPT recommended our restaurant? If you're not looking at that information, chances are, it's going to be tough in the next 5 years.
Yeah. And do you think that comes from lack of willingness to adapt to what's going on with AI? Do you think that's coming from people being frozen stiff because they don't really know what to do because they've come through all these different iterative changes when it comes to technology? Or do you think it's laziness? Like, what do you think it is? Because I then want to talk about in the industry. I mean, hospitality is hard at the moment. I don't know about in the US, but in the UK, it's
hard.
Tough.
It's brutal.
Tough. But you see operators that are thriving. They've got queues out the door. We saw that just before we recorded.
Yep.
But you also see, there's the amount of closures at the moment is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And good businesses that are going under. But then you talk about, and we know it happens. People aren't updating their operating hours. They're not updating this. They're not paying attention to the detail and the free tools that they've got available. Like, why do you think that is? The first question, why do you think that is? People aren't doing these simple things that are easy to do.
To be honest with you, I think, one of the things my grandfather, I'll tell you what's helped me. And what's helped me is what my grandfather taught me, which was to stay curious, to get involved, and to ask for help. Curious people ask questions. Curious people listen to podcasts. Curious people watch YouTube videos. Curious people read books, go to conferences. But you can't just be curious. You have to do something with the information. So once you hear, okay, I agree with what Sean's saying, I need to tell our story more. I'm the owner of the restaurant. I'm the founder of the restaurant. Maybe we should start posting. Well, do 100 videos and 100, actually do the work, which is uncomfortable. No one wants to be uncomfortable. No one wants to look stupid. No one wants to sound stupid. But ultimately, that's what you have to do. When you're uncomfortable, you can grow. And then finally, asking for help. The most powerful, smartest people that I've interviewed, millionaires, billionaires, people that run the most powerful hospitality groups, hotels, they are phenomenal at asking for help. And hospitality, it's hard for us. It's hard for me to ask for help. I say it to remind myself, Sean, you need to ask for help. Well, no one's ever built a new media business on top of a restaurant. Well, that doesn't mean there's not people that have, like Rob Dyrdek, who's worked with MTV, who I've had on the show, Shaquille O'Neal, some of the people that I've learned from, Chef Robert Irvine, I've had them on my show. Yes, it's great to have them on my show, but selfishly, I get to learn.
Yeah.
I get to ask them business questions, things that I'm working on, brand deals. How do you integrate brand deals? How do you do agency work? How do you do things to actually build a sustainable media company? And then how do you grow a barbecue business? I've talked to some of the greatest barbecue brands on earth. We wouldn't even be a barbecue brand if I wasn't willing to ask questions. So to the point, I think that just humans in general, we have a hard time asking for help, especially when in the world of AI, where I can literally go to ChatGPT and ask for help. But what is better than going to ask another human
that's done it before?
I mean, for you having a conversation with Tip House, who's done it in the United States, there's no ChatGPT, there's no AI model that can give you the information that you guys are able to share about your market and his market, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to have the willingness to be vulnerable and open yourself up. Hey, we messed this up. This is something that we did right. This is what we didn't do right. This is where unexpected. This was our blind spot.
And I think from what I've learned in being in hospitality for how many years we've been operating, I've noticed that it is very community driven, whether you're a customer going to a venue or whether you're operators that technically are competitors on paper. Everyone does want to ask for help, but do you think people need to be doing more of it specifically in hospitality?
Definitely. The problem with us in hospitality is that we spend all of our time helping everyone else. Whether you're the owner, the operator, the GM, the area manager, we spend all of our time taking care of all of the problems. We take care of our team. We take care of our community. We take care of our investors. We take care of our family. Very rarely do we take care of ourselves. And taking care of yourselves is having to be vulnerable and asking for help. Is saying that we don't have the answers.
It's so true. It's so true.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about looking after your team then, and obviously the philosophy of driving a community and helping each other out, but specifically looking at your venue, how important is your philosophy and actually bringing that back to your team that, well, whether it's a media team, the hospitality team, everyone that you work with, how important is it that you're looking after the team in the background so you can execute out front?
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things to do is to lead by example. We've learned a lot in Spring Valley at our restaurants of what not to do. We've learned what to do by showing up every day, being consistent, leading with empathy, taking care of our community, learning how to take care of all different walks of life. Like I said, because we're in the dodgy part of town and because we're really good at storytelling, we get people from all over the earth. The crazy thing is when we started the podcast, people are like, why are you starting a podcast? Like, you think people are going to listen to your podcast and then come eat barbecue? I'm like, we're not doing it to sell barbecue. We're doing it to build connections with people that we respect and we admire. And now because of the podcast, we have
People do
tech
come
founders
over.
and restaurateurs that literally, there's 1,000 places in San Diego that they would go to before they came to Spring Valley. But instead they fly into Spring Valley and they fly into San Diego and then they come to Spring Valley because it's part of the story. Like, they want to see the technology that we're using. They want to see our tech stack. They want to meet with me. They want to do content together. These are all things that only happen because you're willing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I bet it's nice.
But it doesn't happen. It didn't happen in 2017. It didn't happen in 2018. It didn't happen in 2019. We unboxed Toast in 2020. We switched from Aloha to Toast. I told Toast that we're a media company and I'm going to tell stories about this hardware, the software, the onboarding, the successes, the failures. And they said, we'll see what you do. And we did it. And within 3 days, Chris Comparato, the CEO of Toast, had shared our Toast unboxing video with the entire organization. Within a couple months, I was invited to their inaugural customer advisory board for small SMB restaurants. Later that year, I was invited to the IPO on Wall Street. There were 20 other restaurants that are way more successful than we are. More locations. They'd been on the platform for longer, but we were the storytelling restaurant. We were there documenting. I went live from Wall Street inside the New York Stock Exchange. And later that year, actually on that trip, we launched our restaurant influencer show, and Toast was a title sponsor of that show. So Toast has been supporting our B2B storytelling journey since, the early days, 2021.
It's an interesting segue into like starting to work with a provider of saying,
Yeah.
we are going to work with you. We're going to be the best. I'm going to be
Isn't
the
that
best.
what partnerships is belief? You got to have a deep belief. And it's not a one-way street. It has to be a two-way street. And I think a lot of people, depending on the size of the company, they expect, all I need is an integration with Toast. And then, I'll have access to 170,000 restaurants. Well, Toast has over 250 integrations.
Yeah.
Brand partners, service partners, tech partners. Like, there's a lot of people that want to work with, the Apple of restaurant technology, which is Toast. And once you do, what kind of value can you bring to Toast? Because the more value you bring to them, then it becomes a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's like going back to what you said earlier in the show, talking about the tech stack needing to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And how important it is, which is absolutely true for any modern hospitality business. Taking a bit of a left field and talking about tips and service charge, and it's obviously so prevalent in the US.
Super prevalent.
What do you think about how it operates? Because you see a lot of things online about, especially people in the UK saying, yeah, I don't think service charge should be added. I don't think tipping should be a thing. But I think when you actually look at it, it's part of the fabric and DNA of hospitality. Like, how do you guys manage it at your venue? And I guess what are the things that you really focus on to drive performance and use it as a lever?
I mean, I think one of the most important things with tipping culture is transparency. Understanding that, through the pandemic, we used to have 73 people at our restaurant, our main location, pre-pandemic, and now we're probably down to 45, and that's probably primarily because most of our business, 60% of our business is off-prem.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of third-party delivery and catering. We still have a robust business for in-store dining, but we also do tip sharing. So front of the house, back of the house, and making sure that the front of the house team and the back of the house team know how much money they're making per shift, and it's calculated and it's easy to understand on their paychecks. I think it's one of the most critical parts to retaining staff. I don't know how it is here in the UK, but cash is just not used anymore. Like,
yeah, no, it's true.
No
it's
one
definitely
wants,
not
like,
used to it.
no one wants to go to the bank. Like, no one wants to go to the bank. Do cash deposits make change? I mean, it's a ridiculous, archaic process to do cash transactions in businesses. I mean, today, I think 2 days ago, I went to the ATM because I wanted to tip the concierge. It was the first time I'd been to the ATM in I don't know how long. Like, I didn't even know if the ATM would work. I was like, I haven't went to get cash because everything is digital. It's all on the Apple Wallet.
Yeah.
Like, it's you pay and you go. But understanding that because so much is changing, how do we take care of our team? you've got to have the right technology to be able to do that, to implement from, the point of sale to a company like what you guys are building. It's super important, not just here in the UK, but globally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And you're seeing waves across Europe and other regions where tipping probably wasn't as prevalent, and you're now starting to see it. And I think it's just such an important lever for driving performance, like you said, and
For sure.
retention. I know we're coming up to time. Just one last question. We ask every person on the podcast about it, but what are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful for my wife. She has been an unbelievable supporter from the beginning of the restaurant. She got to meet my grandfather at the end of his life. He's Bulgarian. I married a Bulgarian woman, so she's supported that journey of the restaurant side, but the dark side of when we were building the media company and it was hard. She was there supporting me no matter what, knowing that even though the podcast didn't make any sense and we didn't make any revenue for 5 years, that she would support me, and that maybe we'd be able to continue to tell stories and do the work that we wanted to do. And she's an amazing mom to my son and my daughter. So
amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
On.
Great job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.